Zoom. That's the intro music. We get ready to do a Zoom meet.
Good morning, and I'd like to welcome this morning our Director, Sandy Michael McDonald, with the Office of Economic and Small Business Development.
Thank you, Danberg. I don't know if they can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Good morning, good morning, good morning. And I'm going to ask staff to do me a favor. Put the previous slide back up, the title, because intentionally it was a play on words. Doing BIDness, not business. I wanted you to catch that. Doing BIDness with Broward County. Now you can move forward. Thank you. The reason why we want to do this workshop, and this is being led by purchasing, supported by our shop, is because we really do want to make sure that our small businesses, and we're not discriminating against primes, so this is for primes too, but definitely our small businesses have a better understanding, a more thorough understanding of doing BIDness, of how to really bid in Broward County. And this is just one of what is going to be 3 or 4 series of making sure we really try to get down to the devil in the details of what you need to know to submit successful bids. Next slide. So I'm going to do my part, and I'm going to tell you about our program. I'm going to tell you about the link between us and the purchasing division. So the Business Opportunity Act is what you need to know. When it comes to the small business program, the county recognizes that a great majority of the businesses in Broward are small. The SBA says small is 1 to 500 employees. But did you actually know that 89% of all the businesses in Broward, and let's be clear, let's be real clear, there's over 77,000 businesses in Broward. But did you know that 89% of them have 20 employees or less? So the Business Opportunity Act is the beginning of the support and the foundation that says, hey, county, though we have a procurement code, we want to create a small business program that affords small businesses, as we define them, to be eligible to participate in Broward County procurement. So the Business Opportunity Act is one of the things I always tell my small businesses. You need to know what that act says. That act explains SBE, CBE, sheltered market, CBE reserve. It explains what a prime must do when they're actually bidding when it comes to using a small business to meet a goal. This is the information that as a small business, you need to know. And if you don't want to learn it, just always know where you have access. And again, at least 25% of what the county buys, we want to try to buy from certified local small businesses. Next slide. Three P's, folks. And I'm not going to dabble on this long, but I do a workshop, Certified Now What? And it really does focus on the 3 P's. But because we're talking about purchasing today, this is the emphasis of the 3 P's. Program. Understand the program. Because any solicitations that go out on the street that has small business participation goals is relating to the program. The program, again, is the Business Opportunity Act. The solicitation has to tell anyone looking to bid what they must do when it comes to small business, if they need to use them, what the goal is, what the requirements are, how to respond to the bid using them. All of that's within the solicitation, but all Broward County solicitations that have small business participation speaks to our program. So understand this, primes know before they ever bid what's actually required. Process. That's also why we're here today. We want to make sure that the small businesses understand how to navigate the process, how to work within purchasing, how to work within Periscope, how to get information from at time to time before the bid ever comes out. Understanding the process of how the county does procurement. It might be different than how you did procurement with private industry. It actually might be different of how you do procurement with Broward schools. Process is one of the things that our office wants to make sure that our small businesses not just get certified, but that you understand the process of how to navigate and create opportunities. And then like today, once again, people. We want to make sure from time to time, you meet the right people. And I always have to say this, folks, meet the right people does not mean meet all people. Meet the right people doesn't mean that you're going to win a contract because you want to meet the director of aviation or the director of water and sewer. Meeting the right people is one of the processes that we do to make sure our small businesses understand who to meet, who to reach out to, who needs your information. And meeting the people is real big with us when we do meet and greets, when we have opportunities for small businesses to meet prime contractors who are going to be competing for bids. And those prime contractors are required to use small businesses. So program process people, that's a workshop by itself. It's normally about an hour to 90 minutes, but I just wanted to throw that in. There's a strategy post-certification in small business that you need to utilize in order to win bids. Next slide. Registering as a vendor. Remember this, certified or not, especially before you get certified with me, you need to register to be a vendor. You want to register to be a vendor in the beginning because you want to make sure that you're familiar with the process, where bids come from, how to get information, and you don't want to miss opportunities. Bid solicitations officially do not come from my office. They come from Periscope, that's the platform, but they come through purchasing. You want to register as a vendor. If you're not certified, if you're a small business, if you're in Broward, you want to register to be a small business. So Pam and team, I saw a couple of messages. Can folks hear me or no, they can't hear me?
I am trying to decipher. We're good here, so.
Okay, I see more people texting now. They can hear. Okay.
Right.
Just wanted to make sure. So I'm sorry about the one or two that I saw, but it's good to see that most of these folks are saying they can hear. Okay. All right. So go on to the next slide.
And actually, Sandy, at this point, you can introduce Mary.
Oh, well, then that's even better. So now I want to introduce you to our partner. So understand this. Purchasing in small business is a real partnership. And before I introduce Mary, I got to say this, because I've said this in many communities, even before I came to Broward. Counties, states, cities will always buy goods, materials, and services. They will always procure. But counties, states, cities, including the federal government, let's throw them in. They won't always, or they don't always have small business programs. But when they do, if they do, any small business program that's worth its merit, that's truly substantive, is married to purchasing. You can have purchasing without small business, but you cannot have small business without purchasing. So with that, let me introduce you to one of our married partners, and Mary will take it away. Hey, Mary, thank you. And thanks for really having this session today, engaging our office and our small businesses. Mary Moss, people.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. McDonald. Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Moss, as he mentioned. I am the purchasing agent, senior for the Broward County Purchasing Division. And let's get this going, okay? So today, what we're going to speak about is, actually, Mr. McDonald already spoke about the partnership with OESBD and purchasing. He's going to speak a little bit more about why we're going to do business with us. And we're going to speak on the bid background as well as how to set up Periscope and how to refine your Periscope account. Next slide. And Ms. McDonald spoke on this already. All right, so let's go ahead and just understand what this meeting is about. It is for the purpose of training and to provide a general overview of the county's procurement process. However, please make sure that you review each solicitation for their specific requirements. That's very important. Next slide. Okay, so let's dive into some of the meat and potatoes. Broward County procures millions of dollars in goods and services, from computers to consultants for construction projects. Listed here are a few goods and services that we procure here in the county. To verify if your service or your goods is procured by the county, it is recommended that you review the county's current open-end contract list. However, it does not display our fixed contract. So keep that in mind when you're viewing this. Next slide. This will show you how to obtain that current open-end contract list. To obtain the current open-end contract list for Broward County, you must go to the Broward County website under the purchasing division, scroll to the bottom, and select the current open-end contract list. Once you select it, the list of all Broward County current open-end contracts will be presented. On this list, you would find the contract number, the start date of the contract, the end date, the amount, the not to exceed amount as of today for that particular contract, the description of that contract, as well as the unit price, the amount that was currently released for that line, and you will see how much by division was used for that particular contract. This information can help you with bidding your future solicitations, as well as help you determine if Broward County currently has a contract for the services that your company may have. Okay, so now the only way to obtain business with Broward County is through e-bidding. So if you're not aware of it, e-bidding is the electronic bidding, which is a method of issuing solicitations and or receiving bids through a bidding system over the internet. Next slide. Listed here are different e-bidding softwares you may have seen while obtaining governmental contracts. For Broward County, we are currently using Periscope S2G, formerly known as BIDness. Broward County only accepts bids on Periscope S2G. Although you may have seen some of our bids on these other websites, it is important that you know that you must submit it through Periscope S2G for it to be considered. Next slide. One of Broward County's main goals is to make sure we help our businesses here in Broward County, and that includes our small business. With that in mind, there is no fee or subscription required to view Broward County solicitations. Periscope is free to register, and Broward County is currently paying for the Periscope S2G for our vendors. Next slide. So let's take a look at this example. We are registering We Clean LLC, which provides janitorial services, pressure cleaning services, and window washing services. So if this was your firm, how would you start this process? The next slide. All right. At this point, We Clean LLC has already started their process with OESBD to get certified. You have reviewed the contract current open list to verify if Broward County procures these services that you have. And next, you will use Chrome, which is the preferred browser, and enter in the website into that's listed on the screen. After entering the website, you would go to the top right-hand corner and click on where it says try for free. The registration page would display, and you would need to fill that out. When submitting for your solicitation, it should be from someone who has the authority to bind your company. Next slide. The section that mentions your business name, please make sure that you use the same name that is listed on sunbiz.org, which is the Division of Corporations for the state of Florida. And also, please make sure that you do not abbreviate your company's name. After you register your account, an email is sent to your email address with a link to use to verify and to set up in Periscope S2G account. Once you click on the link, a new browser tab will open up to verify your token. It is very important that you make sure that if you wait too long, you will have to request another token through your email address in order for you to start that process again. Once your email address has been verified, you may proceed to create your password per their password requirements. You may start the video. Give us a couple seconds. The video takes time.
First part in setting up your business profile is identify the company with which you are associated with. As you type in a company name, the system will attempt to determine if your company already exists in the system. For this example, we will use We Clean LLC. You would then select next. If you are already joined with an established organization, a request is sent to the account administrator to approve adding you as a company user, which also provides the admin user the option to adding any purchase subscription license to that user. In our case, this company was not already established. So now we will fill out the form based on the country, the state, and the zip code. This was already pre-entered in prior to, so notice how these fields have been auto-populated. Next, you will select Next. If the company information is accurate, verifying both the company name and the address, you're going to click Send Request in the bottom right-hand side corner, which we already did. So the next step of the accounting step setup, remember that the sales territory will be defaulted selected every time you log into S2G tool. The account preference allows you to make permanent changes that updates your notification and preloads those settings when searching manually in the tool. You can always adjust your search to include different parameters. For this example, it is recommended to select your select based off of specific states. However, we will select the United States for this example. Next, you would select continue. And at this stage, we want to make sure that we are adding in keywords. You must select a minimum of 3 keywords. This tool presents a sampling of bids that matches the keywords based on the levels of precision. So for this example, we're going to choose janitorial. We're going to choose window washing. And then we will also choose pressure cleaning. Once you select the memo 3 options, you will scroll down to the bottom of the page and notice how sample bids are displayed. Take a look at that and make sure that these are the type of bids you are expecting to receive in Periscope. Once you have viewed it, please select next at the bottom right-hand side. This screen displays the NIGP codes. This is very important when setting up your account because this determines the type of solicitations you will receive. For this, you will also take those same keywords and start with entering those keywords in order to obtain your NIGP code. You scroll down to make sure and to verify if any of these products matches your services or products your firm offers, any of these codes. Once you find a code that represents what your company offers, then you would select the plus symbol on the right-hand side. And with our example, we also say we did pressure cleaning. We will add pressure cleaning. Scroll down to the bottom and select if. And once you're done adding in all the codes here, you may select save and continue. But to reiterate, please make sure that you enter in all codes that represent your business. So if you have about 4 different business types that you offer, make sure all those codes represent that, even if you have to add 4 different NIGP codes. Next, you're going to hit save and continue. Once you finish, you can begin using the thumbs up or thumbs down function to teach the tool in order to improve or increase the bid relevancy of your search results and notifications. So for this particular one, JT pressure washing and window cleaning services, we know that this is something we would actually offer as a janitorial company. So we're going to select the thumbs up. Exterior pressure washing, that's something we offer, thumbs up. Once again, thumbs up. Thumbs up. And now your bid is ready. Your bids are ready. You have an option to go back through that same thumbs up process in the event you selected something that is not a service or product that you offer. You can go back to that section by selecting the increased bid option. Or if you're done, then select the take me to the bid list. Now your contract, your account in Periscope S2G is completed and set up for usage.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the NIGP codes again. And the reason why this is very important is because this is the universal way for identifying commodities and services in the procurement system. These codes is what we use in order to select the firms receiving notice for the available solicitations. So if you select the wrong code, you will not receive the bids that you are expecting. So if you select a code accidentally for fire extinguisher, however, you need services for bids for janitorial services, you won't receive them. Okay. So please make sure that you take the time and the effort in looking up your NIGP codes that is acceptable and except for your firm and your products and services. Okay. Sometimes some people may need more than one NIGP codes, and that is fine. Just make sure that you identify all the goods and the services your firm offers. So now that you have set up your account, you know, what happens now? Going to the next slide. Now that you've set up your account in Periscope S2G, days went by, months went by, and you realize that all the bids you're receiving does not apply to your firm. What do you do next? What happens now? Well, it's time to refine your account to make sure that the keywords, the NIGP codes, and the sales territory is correct and updated for your firm. And to start off, we're going to now select the blue person-like figure on the top right-hand side. Select bid profile. And take a look at this page. The first section we're going to look at is keywords. Making sure that we identify all the keywords that we possibly can have for our firm. For janitorial services, it may be adding custodial. In order to do that, you're going to hover over the blue pencil. And type custodial. If there are any words that does not pertain to your current business as of today, you may hover over the X button and delete that particular word. Notice at the bottom, the samples for all those keywords or bids will populate. You want to take a look at that and make sure that these are potentially future bids that you could possibly bid on. And these are aligned with your services and your products. At the top, once you complete that, go ahead and select the X button. The next section we want to take a look at is the NIGP codes. Hovering over the blue pencil, you're going to select that. And this section is extremely important because this determines exactly what type of bids you will receive in Periscope. So if you have selected options that doesn't pertain to your business anymore, rather your firm has elevated and removed services or added services, you want to make sure that this column here stays as updated as possible for your business. In this case, this is janitorial. We Clean LLC is a janitorial service. And the services we're offering for this company is janitorial, pressure cleaning, and window washing. Notice how the first option here speaks on pressure washing rental and lease. This is not a service we provide. So in order to get rid of that so that we don't receive those solicitations, so we're going to X that out of the options. Okay. Now, notice I said we also have a window cleaning business, window washing business. So we're going to add the window washing code into our NIGP codes. Once you have added all of the services that you needed or remove the services you needed, go ahead and select Save at the bottom right-hand side. Notice it will auto-populate in the NIGP code section. The next thing you want to take a look at is the sales territories. You're going to hover over the blue pencil. Okay, so notice how previously it stated that it was all the United States. For this particular business, for We Clean LLC, we don't need to look at janitorial services in another state. We only want to see the ones that pertain to the state of Florida. So we're going to hover over where it says specific states, select it, and at the bottom, select where it says select states. Now we're going to only select Florida because that's where our company resides. Select Save at the bottom right hand, and you would notice how it changed in the bid profile section. In the event that you're receiving notifications daily, and that's not something that your firm wants in their mailbox, you can definitely unselect that option so you don't see these invites or these invitations for bid opportunities every day. So now that you have started your process, you're registering, you run into a technical issue. If that happens, please make sure you reach out to Periscope S2G using the phone number on the screen. And if you also in the process of trying to bid for a particular solicitation, make sure you reach out to the purchasing agent assigned to that project to let them know what's going on. You may also use that email or that phone number to reach out for additional resources for training as well. Let's have a quiz right now. Using the chat option below, I'm just going to ask these questions. So we're going to go with the first one. Do I have to register with Periscope S2G? So you can provide me your response right now into the chat. I'm seeing some great answers, and it's letting me know that everyone's paying attention. Thank you so much. Okay, so yes, you do have to register with Periscope S2G in order to provide an offer to Broward County. The second one is, do I have to subscribe to Periscope S2G Premium to do business with Broward County? So do you need to pay some extra money for us? All right, everyone's telling me no. Broward County is free to register and free to submit your bid. And is training available? Thank you, everyone. Just letting me know everyone's listening. I appreciate that. Yes, training is available right now. All right, next slide. So we have some additional resources right here on the purchasing website, as well as I mentioned earlier, that you can contact Periscope S2G by phone and by email if you have any additional questions. Once again, all this services is going through Periscope S2G, which is a third-party service. So you must really make sure you reach out to them because they can provide you a direct answer than we can, okay? Going to the website, you can see some additional help there. And next screen. At this moment, we have arrived to questions. Please make sure you submit your questions in the Q&A section so we can read it off and to answer your questions. At this moment, I'm going to pull everyone in to assist with that from the purchasing division. Okay. I will go to the,
Mary, while that's happening, I'm going to pull up just a real quick survey
Mhm.
to just give people an opportunity to find out how they felt about how this went, and then we can go into your Q&A. And what I'll
perfect.
do is I'll stop share there on that screen temporarily so we can bring everybody in. And also, I would like to remind everybody, if you do have a question, please, as Vanetta has said, please put it in the Q&A. We can't get through all the chat, but we'll do the best I can to answer the questions that are there. You guys are doing great with the poll. We'll keep it open just a few minutes longer. And Sandy, I just wanted to open up to you as well. Is there anything on this you would like to add?
No,
sh-
Mary did a great job. We might as well get into the Q&A. I think I take that back. Mary still did a great job. I'm going to add to something Mary said. Please follow all the instructions when registering to be a vendor. Please follow all the instruction when you're ready down the road to submit a bid. So even though, as I mentioned in the beginning, we're going to have a series of these, and some will get more deeper into the actual bid and the bid application and the submittal, it starts with following all the instruction. As she gave you those tips on the NIGP code, making sure you're using the right words, making sure you're identifying as many opportunities based on words as possible. Your best opportunity to participate successfully in engaging county procurement is making sure that your registration as a vendor is accurate, and then making sure that the information that you're using gets you the bids that you want. So Mary, thank you in purchasing for definitely making that part of your presentation, but it's the beginning to making sure that you have impactful, complete submissions when you do bid by understanding the importance of registering completely. So that'll be it for me.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thanks.
And I'm just going to jump in here and throw out a question that I think we'd like to answer live because I think it's important. So it comes from Monica Pitter, and she asks, I own a spiritual wellness brand offering metaphysical stones and spiritual aids. I'm not sure if I'd have any luck with bidding, but I'd like to try. What keywords might be best try on Periscope?
Okay. I would probably, and if I was you, I would break up the title and try those keywords in the title to see if that first, I can get through with that answer. I mean, provide NIGP go with that. If that doesn't work, then I will research exactly what does it actually affect? What does it do? Is it part of the health field? Then I would type that in. So it's something, it's really an answer that comes from the vendor because you know your business better than anyone else does. So you would have to provide those keywords, but I would start with that search first.
Thank you, Mary. And I think we would add from the OESBD side, as part of what Mary was saying about looking at prior bids to see what might be in there, searching on words to see if you want to know whether you could do business with the county, you would want to type some of those keywords in there to see if there's been any previous bidding Sandy always likes to say the county buys a lot, but we don't buy everything. So it's important that you know the type of business that the county is looking for and whether your business fits into that, if your brand fits into that. Shalita Kursky Hunter asks, is there anyone that will assist us walking through the bidding process once we find a contract to bid on? It can be very intimidating, and in my experience, it's been overwhelming. Mary, I would like to turn that to you if you want to talk about what happens once a contract and bid is already up in terms of the county assisting.
Okay, so once a bid has been advertised, some of the help that we actually have is we do pre-bid meetings, okay? And at that pre-bid meeting, we will walk you through the solicitation document and let you know some of the requirements that are needed for that particular solicitation. That is one of the ways we would help our vendors through once the process has started. It is very important that, you know, you kind of just break down the document yourself and highlight some of the important requirements. However, that's one thing that we do here in Broward County.
Pam, let me add to that. So, and that's a great question. And in our entrepreneurship workshops, this is what we're telling entrepreneurs who are starting to go into business, have aspirations of going into business, and they're on the front end of researching their business idea or their solution. Folks, in business, the two letters still apply. R&D, research and development. At this stage, I have a lot of certified businesses who are great in what they do. Consulting, leadership training, architects, engineer, electrical, mechanical, HVAC, plumbing. They're great. But to that person's point who asked the question, the bid can be intimidating. So in the nature of business, we as an office, even with purchasing, we're going to hold some more workshops to make sure you really understand bidding, the process, and the language. But what I tell all my businesses, if this is one of the area as a business owner that you're not as strong in, business development requires you to get someone on your staff who can do this, or identify other small businesses who do this, or see if taking some of the technical assistance training that we'll be providing will help you to do this. From a direct hand-holding perspective, helping the small business walk through the entire process of bidding, unfortunately, as government in this realm, we don't have that. Are we going to offer some technical assistance? Yes, we are. Are we going to offer some training? Yes, we are. But we also make sure that our businesses understand this is one of the key elements of the game. This is one of the key elements of creating opportunities. And to the person who asked the question, you're spot on. Sometimes it can be intimidating. So one of the other things that we also recommend to our small businesses, never wait for the first bid you want to bid in the process. I'm not saying use Periscope S2G as a game, but technically it is a practice tool. Definitely try to familiarize yourself as much as possible. So we're going to do what we can to offer some technical assistance and to offer some training. But the best answer to this is, if after reviewing the website, if after taking a good look at the bid, if you believe it's not one of your stronger areas, please identify a resource that can help you if the type of training and assistance we offer doesn't.
Thank you, Sandy.
And I kind of want to add a little bit to that, just to make sure that everyone, you know, is reminded that please do not wait to the last minute to submit or to ask any questions. So if you have any issues, you can reach out to the agent or the Periscope to walk you through that process. So please do not wait to the last minute for that. Okay, because then when it's a day ahead, it's already too late, right before the bid is about to open.
Thanks, Mary. And Sasha kind of piggybacks on the same question. Are there other resources out there to assist small businesses prepare proposals? I understand you can locate them on bid, but bid process itself is new to my company. And so what I'd like to add is that's part of the reason we are doing this series of seminars. And as we delve deeper, this was the first introducing you to Periscope, how to get registered. But we are going to, over the course of a 4-part series, walk you through submitting an actual bid in Periscope. But that's just one. In terms of, you've got to, there are trainings, as Sandy said, and Periscope is just one software, but there are trainings out there, and there are some resources which we list and can provide you with, of companies that will, for a fee, assist you in the bidding process. Garrett asks, are bids rewarded solely by low bid?
The answer is no. There are some bids that are a request for proposal. And there are some quiz, some bids that are, I'm sorry, there's some bids that are just bids that's the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. And then the RFP, which is the request for proposal, is kind of based on your qualification, your skills. Okay, so there are other different methods of solicitations out here. And that's necessarily not on the lowest bid.
Thanks, Mary. And let me add to that from the small business and the economic development side. And you heard Mary make mention. Bid, some are based on dollar value, but in its entirety, you heard her say, on responsive and responsible low bids. Folks, my small businesses need to really understand that other than a number, you have to demonstrate through responsibility and responsiveness that this is something you can do. So sometimes we have folks sending in numbers, but you didn't send in the other documentation, and they're trying to say, hey, what happened? Well, I didn't get your bid bond, so what's that all about? So you have to still be responsive. You have to be responsible. There are a number of bids that based on responsive and responsibility that speaks to the lowest bid. But as she also mentioned, it's a different story when you're in when you're doing the RFP, and we got other evaluation criteria. And I get it. Government. So there's always the assumption with the taxpayer's dollar that we're just getting the lowest price. There's a percentage of that's true, but I don't want anyone to think that's wholly true, because if you send a lowest price to purchasing, but you didn't demonstrate that you was responsible, you still losing. So just don't get hung up on that dollar. But yes, understand, it is yours, mine, Mary's, Pam's, and everybody else's tax dollar. So the county is going to be fiscally responsible, but there's a process that you need to learn more than just that lowest number. So I definitely wanted to add that low number don't mean nothing if you didn't send in all the documentation. Please don't miss that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. There's a question that's come up from Chandra Lewis. When submitting a bid for purchase, what is the standard amount you add to the bid for your services of purchasing the items? And I think it's a valid question to clarify.
I actually don't have a response to that one. I think that's more of a business decision.
Yeah, let me take that, Mary. And it is a business decision. So let's be clear. There's no hard rule that to your bid for delivering these materials, these goods, or for this service, the county's going to give you 7, 10, or 12%, or whatever you want to call it. Administrative fee, markup, profit margin. There is no hard number. What you do need to understand is from the hard bid for the goods, materials, and services, and understanding and reading the county's entire program, understanding and reading what the project estimates were from the user agency, the county has this thing that we call, especially in hard bids, fair and reasonable. But what I really tell businesses, while they are, and I encourage this, don't get me wrong, while they are looking to grow their business, while they are looking for a profit margin, I just have to remind businesses, you're bidding with Broward County, but you're bidding against other businesses. Do not outbid yourself. Remember, you will not always be the only bid. Most of the time, the county's not accepting just one bid. So you always need to remember, no matter what it is you think the range is, after you think you have a better understanding of what the unit agency is looking to pay, what they previously paid, R&D, again, research and development, trying to get as much information as you can, knowing in terms of what's a fair and reasonable markup for you as a business, knowing what it is you're willing to accept or what it is you're willing to negotiate if ever presented that opportunity. When it's all said and done, please don't forget, your number also have to compare to another responsive and responsible bid. So I'm sorry, I can't say, yes, the county gives 9% market or 9% markup on everything. I can't say that. There is no hard answer. When it comes to multipliers and certain bids, then we know this 3 or this 4%. But again, you will read that language. But on the solid, just the idea of traditional bidding, you as the owner for what you do, for the goods, services, or materials you provide, it's your day job to research what that opportunity is to provide the service and what the potential markup could be for delivering the service or for those materials. And that means a little homework. Yes, you might need to see if the county has purchased it before and what they've paid for it, and then begin to do your own work.
Thank you, Sandy. I'm going to throw another question at you, Sandy, and it's from Garrett because it gives you an opportunity. Are there any minority-owned contractor opportunities?
Every one of these opportunities are minority-owned opportunities, but remember, Broward County Small Business Program is race and gender neutral. So we don't carve it out because you are a minority. We don't carve it out because of your gender. We don't have that type of program. However, that's local. Federal program, the DBE, it's exclusively minority and women. Whenever Broward County spends money from the Department of Transportation, and is primarily spent in transit as well as aviation, based on those projects, we get to review, and we then can offer, and we then can do the methodology and set a DBE, disadvantaged business enterprise goal. And then based on that goal, only DBEs, which are previously certified minority and women-owned businesses based on the federal eligibility criteria, they get to bid. So that is a minority program. That is a woman-based program. That is a program where goals are established exclusively for minority and women businesses that meet the federal criteria. Our program, Broward County's Office of Economic and Small Business, our small business program under the Business Opportunity Act, is not race and gender conscious. We're race and gender neutral. So if your business has been in Broward at least a year, no matter what your race and gender, if the personal net worth is 1.32 million or less, not counting your home, and if the gross revenue is 5 million on an average in most industries over 3 years, or $9 million in construction over 3 years, as a minority or as a woman and anyone else who fit those criteria, you're eligible to be a certified small business. And we do work to carve out special opportunities for certified small businesses. We do assure that on most contracts, when we don't carve it out, small businesses have a chance to participate and primes must use them. But I must say that Broward is currently race and gender neutral. We don't carve out for minorities or women unless it's the federal program when I'm spending DOT, Department of Transportation funds.
And based on that, Franny asks, if we're a small business in Miami-Dade, but we have a home office in Broward, can we be registered as a small business in Broward?
There you go. The answer is yes. Broward requirement says for a business to demonstrate that they operate in Broward, that they've operated in Broward at least 1 year. That means you don't have to be headquartered here. It could just be a regular office. It can be the reverse. But our definition is the business has been in Broward at least 1 year, and there's at least one person working in that business based on the industry in Broward County. It's okay if you got 3 people in this building and 15 in Miami. It's okay if you got 15 in the Broward building and 2 in Miami. We just require you to have an operating presence in Broward County and fit those other criteria.
And we have come to the end of our questions.
So gang, look, and I'll let Mary have the, anybody other from purchasing to have the final words. I just want to say Thank you to my team. Thank you to purchasing, but thank you to those who are listening today. Understand, we also get it. This is why we're doing this. We get it. We get it. There's so much more you need. There's so much assistance you need. And even as government, we want to offer you as much as we actually can. So we want to be genuine and sincere and open and honest about processes, about who you can reach out to, about what you need to do. All of this is a part of what we speak in the small business office about program process people. You cannot win a contract if you're not participating in the process. You have to register as a vendor. You have to then register into Periscope and receive bids that you're eligible for. If eligible and if you desire, you need to be a certified small business. And then you need to trail these projects and these opportunities, my Wednesday night newsletter with those hot tips. You need to be on that information as much as possible before you go back to Periscope and try to submit a bid. All the things we're doing, all the workshops we want to do next calendar year is to help better prepare you as small businesses specifically, but businesses across the board, be a better business participating in Broward County procurement. And if you happen to be a small business, helping you be a better small business that's participating in Broward County procurement. So I thank purchasing. I thank the new purchasing director. Thank all of their staff. We want to do this collaboratively so that we make sure bare minimum, you really do know not only what it takes, but what to do. And you also know some of the resources that can support you in your research and development of submitting better bids. So thanks for joining us today. And Mary, you and your team can certainly have the last words.
Well, I think you actually said it all. I can't top all of that. Thank you everyone for coming, and see you next time for part 2.
All right. Thank you, Mary. Thank you all. I know there's a couple questions left online. We will try to answer them offline. All right. Thank you, everyone.